Now here's something most of us don't see very often. And that's because we're not in the same situation these gentlemen are in. When we run into this issue, we call for help. They get proactive. And that issue? A flat, specifically a puncture to the inner tube. That's the thinner, softer tube inside that thick rubber tire. The inner tube is actually what gets inflated. And rather than replacing it, this gentleman is patching it. And not like you might think of with a bike tire, but not all that different from the way you might with a bike tire as well. Using a patch, plenty of that epoxy or rubber cement, and it's actually stitched a little bit like a baseball as well. A protective layer for the threads, and then that self-adhering rubber laid down. And don't think that's where it starts. The cement on one side, the rubber on the other. The whole thing is then rasped down to a nice smooth finish. But it'll also be heated, almost melted into place, and that a little tricky, of course, because too much heat applied in the wrong area and the tube will melt or burn, in which case, way to go. Now you've got to start again. Fortunately here, not the case. And another bit of extra rubber is cut. And the idea this time to use it as an insulating layer between the patch that has been laid down when the heat is applied. Just about right. Carefully trimmed with those scissors, then laid on top. Here's how they heat it. Taking that heavy metal plate, setting it over a burner, and then using some folded rubber to keep it from sitting directly on the surface. It's then pressed down on that top layer of rubber. That vise squeezed, and well, it starts to melt it. And all of those layers that were stacked are now stuck instead. Tested for leaks by inflating it with a little water over the patch, and it looks good. Air and watertight. It can now be deflated and packed back into that tire for use.